them come. This is their fate.
All right. Let me see. My Birdman hands out. The paper hand. Sandpaper hands out. I'm gonna get my gunshots. Pew, 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 pew. All right. Welcome back to the House of Wolves podcast. I am your host, Deontay, here with my near and dear friends, Jalen and Josh. Today we got quite a bit of topics for you guys. We're going to be talking about Sonic Frontiers, God of War, Steam Deck Thoughts, Halo Forge coming out. We got some stuff, basically. So stick around if you want to listen. But before we get started, as usual, Jalen and Josh, update the people on where you at, what you've been up to, what you've been doing, what you've been playing, and how you've been feeling about this jam-packed last 2 months. Let's start with Josh. What you been up to?
Same as always. Got a lot going on. Yeah, so I've been playing the game, but I haven't played much new stuff. And I'm kind of holding off because, like you said, a lot of games dropped recently, and I can't play them all, so I'm not gonna buy them all yet until I got time. Like Bayonetta came out, and I completely skipped that. I haven't even finished, really got into Xenoblade 3, and that dropped a while ago. And now we got Sonic and God of War and all this new stuff coming out. So I'm first try to catch up on a couple games in my backlog, at least clear it out a little bit, and then add some new games to the rotation.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, yeah, just been pretty good. Family's doing well. It's not too cold here in Japan. So actually, we've been out recently, just enjoying the weather. So yeah, just taking it chill before a winter get here. Well, fully get here.
Yeah. Yeah. It's about a lot of. I'm trying to get some trees cut in my house, and it's been some issues because of the weather. So it's interesting, but hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully we get some more sunshine because it's been weird. We've been getting like 81 weather days in Ohio, and it's been interesting at least. But yeah. What about you, Jalen? Wow, went right back to Josh. What about you, Jalen? What you been up to? What you been playing? What you been on?
If you wanted Josh to go twice, just say
yes,
that.
I did.
That's fine.
Say go back twice again, sir. I'm not saying redo that.
Speak up, boy.
Redo that.
Shoot, but no, I ain't been up to nothing. I guess that we chilling or whatever. Maintaining the struggle. But what I was gonna say, I got my Steam Deck kinda running. At first, I was like, man, I could return it for that 400, man, but that third return policy, like, nah, bro, 30 days. And now y'all know my Steam Deck. If y'all go back to these other podcasts, my Steam Deck been sitting there for at least 60. So, yeah, so I did a little bit. I've been kind of messing with that for a little bit. I currently was trying to start playing this another hack Pokemon game. It's called Pokemon Adventure Red. It's based off the Pokemon manga, I guess. I don't really pay attention to it, but I mean, I used to hear certain things about it, and sometimes it got some darker things, and people be getting killed and stuff like that. So I'm gonna see what all that's about. But other than that, man, y'all know Sonic, boy. I mean, I guess I can streamline on to the next thing a little bit, but yeah, no, that's pretty much been it for me.
Okay. Well, I ain't been doing much outside of playing God of War. So it would sound like I've been neglecting my responsibilities, but I put in 46 hours already, and I have been kind of neglecting my responsibilities. Came out on Wednesday, it's Sunday, but I had the weekend, and I told you I took 2 days off, so I beat it last night, and it was amazing, and it was definitely better than the first one. I ain't gonna hold you. So a lot better gameplay wise, a lot of different variety in fights, a lot of mechanics being introduced.
So instead of 8 enemies, they got 10 enemies.
Yeah, nah, they got way more than 10. But they definitely and they I guess they didn't want to try to repeat the same thing, but they kind of did anyway with like a certain type of enemy that you fight a lot, or at
Oh yeah.
least the when you go around and explore, they have like these enemies that are tough. It's not Valkyries anymore, but you'll know what it is once you play it.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was fun. I still got like a lot to do, and the way it ends is kind of explore, so you could explore some more. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in because honestly, I stopped doing a lot of the side quests, or at least a decent amount of side quests towards the end. I haven't finished quite a bit, so there's still more to see in that world. And I was like, Jesus Christ, this thing is jam packed. But story great, everything, pacing's great. A lot of twists and turns, but you'll enjoy it for sure, especially if you like the story and the original one. And all they did was fix pretty much all the problems that we had, which was
Hmm.
combat and the lack of variety. But overall, solid 10 out of 10 for the boy. But I've been playing that a lot, playing a lot of that, and um, yeah, that's been it. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, so I guess I don't want to talk too much on God of War. But at least you just know that if you are going to play it and you are going to actually finish it, it's more than likely going to be a better experience than you had with the original God of War. Most people are probably 20 to 30 hours in at this point, and they probably are getting to the middle, or at least to the very middle end, if they're not
Hmm.
doing any side quests. So we'll be able to talk about it fully um, at some point. I don't know when, but
Yeah.
at some point we'll be able to talk about it fully.
With us, not really. I ain't gonna play it for a year. Jalen ain't never
I
gonna play
know,
it.
I know, but I'm saying
But
at some point.
yeah, you can speak freely without worrying about spoilers and stuff. But I mean, obviously, it seemed a lot of good impressions, and it sounded like based on what you were saying that they went to address a couple issues with the first game because I
Yeah,
like the first
absolutely.
game a lot, but like yeah, it was my biggest stuff was just like how repetitive it got. Like the story was really good, but the stuff that you were doing, you see the same enemies over and over and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think a
But
lot of
yeah.
it, I think a lot of what I did ended up being because of I was playing on No Mercy. I wasn't playing on
Hmm.
like the standard difficulty. I wasn't playing on God of War. No, I wasn't gonna do that the first go around. But I was playing on No Mercy. Then I was gonna go back and play it on Give Me God of War or whatever. But it made me switch up my gear. It made me use different tactics at different points in the game due to the type of enemy I was fighting. Um, and it made me think more about the combat. So that's why I was saying it wasn't just, smash and continue to go. Like I had to think about what does this ailment will do and how I'm gonna get buffed here. So maybe I should just start using shield damage because shield damage is doing better than my regular weapon. So it was like a lot to think about in the last
Is
time
the
while I was playing it.
is the skill system mostly the same as like the first one?
No, you get rewarded for doing certain moves. And people were talking about how you can go and do certain things in a training area and like get these moves to unlock. But basically, the more you use
Mm-hmm.
something, a style of play or a type of skill, you get like gold tier or silver tier, and you can like slot another attunement to it. So there's like a lot of stuff that they added to make the customization more interesting.
Yeah.
But they also kind of did some refining on the type of runes you get because there was a lot of stuff that nobody want to use, but a lot of the stuff I feel like they just tried to hone in on the good ones and really bring
Hmm.
back those. And so yeah, I just think that they did a really good job on pacing, the style of the game, like all the realms you visit. It's not like I said, It is not a small game, so it's really fun. So if you and I just kept wanting to play it because it was just that good. So I know you already know how I felt about God of War 1, but yeah, this is definitely on pace to beat that. Well, it's definitely on pace to beat that in like the achievement of it. Even though it's still a $59.99 game, they charge me $69.99 for 60 FPS, I suppose. They ain't really give me nothing different. Like PS4 people, PS4 Pro people can have this almost the same experience. Granted, maybe mine's load a little faster when I'm not, and it's not like you got a cutscene or like a camera cut. So it's really just when you die and come back to life. And I died a lot. So yeah. But yeah, overall I had fun with it. It was like a challenge, but also fun. I guess it's more of a if you want the challenge. Like if you play on a regular one, you probably fly through it. But if you either playing on No Mercy or you playing on Give Me God of War, this is where you kind of have to start using, more different tactics to kind of play through it. So I think I
I
did
might
have the
think about
best
it
experience,
because
playing on those.
I enjoy, action games on a little bit harder difficulty, but the first one I just didn't like how they did the runes and stuff like that. I feel like harder difficulties were more trouble than it's worth, but it sounded like them rebalancing it makes the harder difficulties more fun.
Yeah. No, the camera's still slow. You can change it. You can speed up the camera, like turning wise and stuff like that now. But I mean, it's still an over the back camera. It's still
Hmm.
that. It's not going to be one where it spreads out. Now, it does do a good job of spreading out when you get into a fight and trying to focus in on the enemies. And they have, like, literally, my man just calls out when something's finna happen. He say, on your left, on your right. So you can actually listen to him and still be able to dodge things when they're finna come. Because
Hmm.
he is actually a verbal cue. So you don't have to look at the screen to know that somebody's going to attack you from the back or whatever, because he will literally say it. So that is like a huge mechanic that allows you to like stop focusing on looking at that red dot and where it's coming from and just focus on hearing and listening and just fighting what you are in front of you, because they're going to tell you when they're coming at you anyway. So that really helped with the whole camera issue for me, because it is still it's still that camera. So you can't really change the camera. It's all about how they solve for the problem that we had in the first place, is that when you turn your back, you're getting smacked up and it's kind of hard to navigate and bag up and see the whole field when you got a bunch of enemies coming at you from all sides. So
Hmm.
the ability to get up high and break up the combat too. Like they add a lot of verticality into the game, so you can get up high and reposition yourself and like use elements in the world to kind of help you in the games too. So, like I said, they just got a lot of stuff in there now that it feels so much better to play than the first one for sure. But yeah, it's that's not how I wanted to start it, but God of War has been the probably the biggest game I've given that much time to in like this short of a span, and it was a reason for it. Like everybody know that. Everybody know this game good. It's just how good is it? That's the whole thing. Everybody knows good, but just how good is it? But yeah, Sony did their thing as usual. They still
About
suck, but
time.
they make good games, and as usual, that game is going to be a game that's going to be remembered and replayed for a lot of different reasons, and it just had a good
I'm
story.
waiting for God of War Ragnarok remake. They're gonna drop it
What?
in like 2 years.
They try to do that Horizon. I said, yo, fam, that game is not that old for you to be doing a remake. But they're trying to pull it off, bro. That's how they do.
They're
They're,
gonna have
they're,
8K
they're very
support.
interesting.
$70, my boy.
$70. And then they really try to get off with that $70 for Last of Us, bro. I'm like, come on, bro. If anybody buy this, you a fool, bro. Like, that is not a game to be buying for 70 at all. Especially when they took out everything. They took out so much from that game. Like, how you gonna take away the multiplayer and charge more? You didn't charge that much when you paid it, and you actually had some mechanics in it, and things like when they promised Last of Us Part 2 was going to get like multiplayer and all that, bro. That stuff dead. Like I'm sick of Naughty Dog broken promises for real, for real. So it's whatever with them as a studio in general, but I mean, obviously they make good games still, but I'm over them as a studio. But yeah, God of War, 10 out of 10 for your boy. Hopefully, Jalen plays some of this goodness. He got the PS5. He just don't care enough. But hopefully he come around to actually playing good games. Put that Sonic put that Frontiers down and actually play some good games, man. But
man, what you trying to say?
Nah. And that's the thing I want to talk about too. Sonic Frontiers. Let me move right on into it. Smooth like that. Sonic Frontiers.
So now we reach the Game of the Year section.
This is where we get
you
the game
being the first time Sonic 3D Sonic game for you, Deontay. What's going on? Why is this the top game over God of War right now?
Yeah,
sure.
It's like a game Black Excellence.
They need to fix their pop-in situation if they want this to be considered Black Excellence. This game has atrocious pop-in, but and terrible frame pacing issues. But thanks to my man's at Digital Foundry, they basically came up with a bunch of stuff basically saying that this game has terrible frame pacing issues at 30 FPS. Have to play it at 60. So as long as you get on a PS5 or the Xbox Series X, you'll be fine. But if you get on any other console, it's not great. And the 30 FPS frame pacing is just bad. I'm the only one. And so let's be clear here. Me, Mr. BCD Deontay, is the only one that owns a copy of Sonic Frontiers at this moment. And
that's not that surprising. you missed to swipe it up.
No.
We like these games, people, we just like being financially responsible.
They try to spin it. Don't let them spin it on y'all. They were told us that they were super excited.
They're gonna buy 2 copies.
Nah, they were so excited that this game came out. And they were like, ooh, Sonic Frontiers game of the year, blase. Tell me why the person that's just trying it is the one that caught first. I will say that Sonic Frontiers is a good game. It's fun to play. It's relaxing because of the soundtrack. And but it's not flawed. It's still a flawed game, but at least they got some things right, like they got the traversal right, they got the feel of speed right. You can adjust how your speed is, and like bounce speed and like height and like actual running speed. You can adjust it as sliders to make yourself go faster if you feel like you're not going fast enough.
That's good, because like a lot of people always complain about Sonic physics, because some games are different than others. And just given the option to actually change that is good, because like I like the older like Sonic games, like Sonic Adventure and stuff, but a lot of people don't like them because like how the physics work. And I'll say like not non-Sonic fans, but people who play other platformers come into those games, they don't like how it feel. And then the newer games, they changed it, but the physics are also different. So I want to play around with it once I actually do get it to actually see what feels good. But
so what's crazy though is, I guess luck would have you, these jokers 5 days out, They dropped the price. I told you that God of War Ragnarok is too hot it's too hot, bro. Everybody said, man,
Hey,
bump
hold
all
on,
that
bro.
Sonic. So they dropped $20. Five
It's only on
days
it's
later.
only on PlayStation though.
It's on PS5 and Xbox, I thought.
Nah, Xbox. I checked Amazon and GameStop today. That joint was still 60.
So is it only on the PS5 and the Switch?
I don't even think it's for the Switch. I think it's just for the PS5.
No, it says
I think it might be $50 on the Switch. Let me check again, bro. Because
no,
I was just
I
looking. I
saw
was like, man, I might cop this mug right now. What are we talking about?
it says oh, I guess they all out. It's no longer available, but they still on
Sold
the
out, bro. They wanted Game of the Year. They said, hey, buy this up right now, big dog.
Amazon still got it. Oh no, they got it for $59.99. Why in the heck was the PlayStation only $39.99? Was that a pricing error? I guess we dealing with this in real time, folks. Nah, G. They said that everybody they saying this is too popular. Everybody purchasing. You know I'm a slick deals advocate. So yeah, I guess it
Bro, I
was
got to know what it's for too.
$39.99. Yeah,
I thought it's for the PS5 also. I'm only seeing it on GameStop for the PS4 now.
bro. I
Man, I
think
should have
this was
just
a.
bought that mug,
Oh
bro.
dang, it's a pricing error. I could tell it was a pricing error. All right, well. Let me scratch that. It was not price dropped 5 days later. There was a
I
pricing
ain't getting that
error
mug,
for a
bro.
$20 discount, and now everybody is pushing it back up because they said Game of the Year can't be cheap. Not the Game of the Year. It can't be this cheap. So in real time, people, we are finding out Sonic Frontiers is back up on that $59.99. And if he wants it, he
Dang it.
got to pay the $60.
Man, I just fixed my budget for that mug and I was ready to buy it. I told Josh, I'm like, y'all got GameStop Pro still? Because I'm finna go crazy with that mug. They said, sight, $59.99, my boy. Naughty fought it.
Yes, sir.
Bought the
Oh,
version.
that's
But I'm like, I ain't getting that same version, bro. I don't even got a PS4 no more, bro. Like, what is y'all saying?
it says free
Man.
It says free PS5 upgrade available for PS4.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk
Talk about
about
it.
it. You might be able to still get it.
I'm finna buy the PS1 version then.
Yeah, it says PS5 upgrade available. Yep, right on the box. So
Anyways, Deontay was talking his mess. Me and
yes.
Jalen wanted to wait, see what our options are. You know, Deontay had his pre-order in like a couple weeks early.
Oh my god!
He was ready to go.
I went and I got GameStop credit for a bunch of stuff because they were doing 50% extra credit, and I buy my games physical, so I turned in a bunch of stuff I didn't want and or beat, and I was able to get Callisto Protocol, God of War, and Sonic Frontiers. I only had to spend like $20. So that is why I got it. I was going to get Evil West, but I got Sonic Frontiers instead.
Good
But
choice.
yeah. So
Good choice.
I might still like Evil West, so I might still get it at some point. But yeah, this Sonic Frontiers, I'm the only one that actually has hands-on experience, and I'm bringing the mantle for Sonic. So what I will say is, again, the game is fun and interesting to play. I'm only in the first zone. I haven't unlocked anything yet. I've played for like 3 hours, because again, it was right before God of War came out. Like I said, I put 46 in that. So I will go back to it now that I've finished it. I don't plan on doing all the completion stuff yet. I might do that on Give Me God of War, so I don't plan on finishing up and then going back. I might just do that on Give God of War on the hardest difficulty of the game. But Sonic overall, I enjoy the traversal, like the traversal plus the soundtrack. Like it feels fun to just get around. Like you'll run into something and you'll be like, okay, let me just do it real quick. Let me figure out this little puzzle. But they're small little puzzles, but they're still fun to do. It kind of reminds me of Zelda Breath of the Wild, where it's just like an experience of flying through stuff, and like the story, I'm not paying attention to it, but it's there. It is a story in the game. But overall, it's just fun to figure out how to get on top of stuff, figure out how to beat bosses, and like run around the world. Like there's plenty of things to just jump in and do. The world may be empty, but it is like a canvas for you to just run around and do stuff, like play around in the world. Like there's so many like small things that's connected that you feel like you just always going fast. Even if in like you're trying to figure out the best ways to traverse the world. And that's fun in itself to me. I mean, it might not be fun to everybody, but at least to me, it's fun in that space of just traversing. But Sonic Frontiers, I feel like it by the end of it, I'm gonna probably enjoy it a lot more than I expected because of hopefully there's a lot of variety in all the zones or whatever they call them, open zones. But yeah, and at least from where I'm standing, I don't feel like I wasted my money. I got it on the PC because I want to see if the mods come out where they can fix the pop in, and fix a lot of the issues, but maybe not a lot of the issues, just the pop in really. Like nothing else really bothers me. Like the world doesn't look ugly because of the lighting and the like the motion blur. Everything makes kind of false in line, and like the graphics aren't terrible. It's just really the pop in that's atrocious. So if we can fix the pop in on PC, we got a solid 8 out of 10. But I ain't beat it yet, so I can't say that. But I will say that at least it's showing all the right mechanics. And the combat is super fun. I didn't think it was going to be super fun, but it is actually fun. Like all the little things you can do. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it. At least my little 3 hours I played, I was definitely enjoying it. I don't know how, I don't know how deep the combat gets, but from what I can play, it seems as if you want to try to master some of those combos and like the combat because it feels just unique and fun to play. You never really experience Sonic, doing like fury kicks and all this other stuff. It seems pretty cool. So.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's good because I mean, me and you had the same first impression. Like when they first showed it, it didn't look good, and
No, I didn't.
partly it's just that was just a really bad like showing of the game.
Yeah.
But since then, it seems like it's come together better. Where the open world, you meant to move around really fast and do a lot of quick, short stops and do a little puzzle and keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good to hear. And people have been saying like the boss fights are also. I don't know if they're boss fights or the boss fights that you like chase or whatever. But those seem pretty good. I got mine downloading. I'm just play it once I finish something else. But
Yeah.
I'm waiting on Jalen because he the biggest Sonic fan, and
Yeah, man.
he ain't pulled that trigger yet.
Yeah, he ready to get on
He
the
even
PS4.
bought Sonic Forces.
Man, I ain't buy Sonic Forces. I finesse that boy. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I'm I've been quiet because I'm over here trying to buy it right now. I'm like, get this game, bro.
Yeah, I just went ahead and downloaded it on Steam so I can get those mods.
Get those mods, G. I mean,
Because
it
you can
runs really
install the
well.
mods on Steam Deck. Have you played it on the Steam Deck?
I played on the Steam Deck. Like I said, that's where it's like a good 30 FPS or 35. Or I usually do at 40 FPS, but it's a lot of it's a little bit more too blurry for my taste because it's just like it's 800p and they don't have a really great anti-aliasing they don't have a really good anti-aliasing program or whatever. I think it's like TAA and then FXF. I forget the other one, but with those two, they just don't do enough to kind of knock out the frizz for me. So I did switch to the PC and I'm planning on there, which is fine. But once I get a hang of the game and I'm not really looking forward to like I'm not actually trying to figure out the world. I'm just running around in it. The Steam Deck would be cool to even what I was thinking about doing was just, remote playing it from a PC on the Steam Deck. So that way it's on my PC and I just remote play it to the Steam Deck. Because they have a really good latency
Mm-hmm.
for my internet at least. So I would prefer it that way so I can still be mobile while I play it. But if not, like I said, my PC is more than capable of running that game 60 FPS maxed. So yeah. I am having a good time. I think I'm gonna try it some more tonight when I get a chance. But overall, yeah, man. We need to get the real Sonic fans to get their handles on it and see what they enjoy about it, and if it's really living up to its full potential. Because y'all could really, well, low key, y'all could not like it, which is interesting. I don't know if y'all would, but I don't know what was the favorite Sonic game for y'all. Was it Adventure 2?
I think I already know I'm a Lakers game, so I'm gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, put that out there because that game's super high fire. You know, no, but I mean, I just set my pickup for GameStop and I'm gonna pick that joint up. I'm gonna go get my Sonic, bro. Hit some finesses, all that, all that good stuff. But my favorite Sonic game, I don't really know because I feel like Adventure 2 was cool, right? But of course that was like one of my favorite ones at a certain point in time. But then I got older. I think it's a huge nostalgia factor with it because it was like an actual good 3D Sonic game. And it was like one of the first ones, like I mean, you had other ones like Sonic Fighters or 3D Blast and stuff like that, but that was actually like a good one. And then had like, I mean, the lip sync was off too and stuff like that, but it wasn't as bad as like Sonic Adventure and stuff like that. But so I think nostalgia plays a huge factor. Josh, when we playing that game at my graduation or something like that, when you had came up there,
Yeah, we tried to
like
boot
then
it
we
up
put it
because
on.
Xbox was having issues.
Yeah, they
But
was
yeah,
having issues. They wouldn't let us play it because it was downloaded or something, right?
yeah,
Like it won't let you play none of your license game. It was something weird, but yeah. So I just think overall, what I'm saying is, I think the nostalgia factor is a huge one. And I don't necessarily think it's like the best Sonic game I played, but it was my favorite one, and I probably had the most fun with that one. Another one I really, really enjoyed was I probably say Sonic Generations, but I was older and stuff, and I wasn't as Sonic-y as I was, I guess. But I think Sonic Generations was a pretty solid one that I like enjoyed thoroughly too. So.
yeah, yeah. It depends. Like I said, the earlier games they were fun and they were like different from Mario, like doing all the Sonic levels in space and then how fast you're going. You can just like jump off a platform and skip half the level and stuff like that. Like all of that was fun, especially like when you were younger as a kid. The game might not hold up as well because, like you said, like lip syncing and all the like technical stuff just doesn't hold up the game. But the problem is like Sonic Team, they since then they've never really knew what to do with Sonic. Like each game they'll try something different, and it's not fully there. Like it might look good graphically, but the story is weird and the gameplay is not good. But anyways, after I played most of them, I haven't played the more recent ones. Like I stopped playing after Colors. No, actually, the last one I bought was other than like Sonic Mania, the last 3D one was Unleashed, which I liked Sonic Unleashed a lot, but it was also like half the game was also trash because of the werewolf stuff. Um, so with this game, it seems like they at least have a good foundation, and I'm gonna play it. I think I'm gonna enjoy it. Like I'm not going in with high stakes. I just want to run around, fight a couple fun bosses, do the supersonic sections and stuff. But I do hope that at least if this sells well enough, whatever, that they continue with it and polish it, where next time you don't have the same technical issues and like, they can do more with this template.
Newfound experience, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what the hope is for everyone, is really because Sonic ain't been at the top for a very long time, and it's a very beloved character, but they just seem like they can't never get nothing right. So at least like they have the foundation to make something fun. It's cool. And it's getting enough people eyes on it to make it where it could be a success. They just need to follow up with, like, again, something that really resolves this pop in situation, which they probably can't fix it with an update. More than likely, if it's shipped like that, it's probably going to be like that. But maybe the modder team can do something, because every console has the same issue. It's like, this can't be where lack of power. This is like literally them not doing something. So hopefully with them resets and stuff like that, everybody can have a better experience. But I mean, not resets, but updates. Mm-hmm. That's the hope. But yeah, Sonic is not going to be Game of the Year based off of God of War and Elden Ring, but it can be fun. It's really now who gonna win. It's really just God of War and it's Elden Ring.
I mean, we already know it's God of War, but
yeah, because I think people have more impact. The story is more impactful in God of War than Elden Ring, but the Elden Ring just had like a free form. You know, it's Dark Souls, but it's just like just freedom of an open world, you know. And they had to build a lot of new mechanics and build a lot of new stuff for it to work well, and for that to be their first entry into an open world game and it to be that good, you know, rings true that they have a winning formula. But yeah, God of War probably gonna win.
Yeah, people usually pick Game of the Year just based off story and presentation, and like, you know, sometimes other games that are just, you know, the funnest game of the year and with no story wins, like a Mario or something. But yeah, God of War, there's no competing with its like presentation, because like it's the best it's ever been done. So yeah.
Yeah, that is not a lie, and it's never been more truer since I've beaten it. It's like I've never experienced that before. So it's that good. So it's just you know, I would like for them to consider what Elden Ring did too, and I think it's always that whole thing about, well, which one was more recent in the mind. But Elden Ring, when it came out, it was such a huge impact that people forgot about Horizon. so now don't forget about their other Game of the Year contender that nobody cares about. I enjoy Horizon. It is not on God of War's level, but I enjoyed Horizon for what it was, and they did a great job with the game. So for them to launch that and this in the same year, this is why PlayStation wins, baby. This is it. Sony always wins because of these situations where when I gotta look back, I gotta deal with Halo Infinite. Which we got to talk about anyways, because we're going to talk about the Forge. Another segue of bodying these today. But Halo Infinite. I don't want to talk about it right after I talk about God of War and Horizon, but whatever. It is what it is. Halo Infinite got their winter update a couple days ago. And I mean, actually, let me get a taste of the room. Obviously, I don't care about this game, but you used to. Did that do anything? Did y'all see any of the Forge like customized modes? Anything? I saw one, and I thought it was pretty fun. But let me know what y'all. What is the ear to the streets for Halo right now?
So I'll just go real quick because I know Josh probably seen a little bit more than me. But I mean, clearly I'd be like under the rock when it comes to like certain things and stuff like that, like gaming those. Mm-hmm. But I will say that I kept seeing stuff about Halo and they like our biggest update yet and all this type of stuff for the game or whatever. I'm like, oh, y'all trying to make this game sound tight, but the game was never tight, so I don't really care. So, but I mean, it just, and then the fact that y'all didn't say anything about it, or was like, hey, let's try to hop on Halo real quick. Let's see if this update and stuff they talking about. Like, let's check it out at least. At least, you know, Apex would do that. Like, that game, I ain't heard nothing about that game since they had the Super Saiyan 2 emote or something like that. So, like, I just knew that it wasn't, I ain't gonna say it was trash, but, like, I just knew it wasn't that. You feel me? Because, like, you ain't make a big enough deal about it. So,
listen, I've been keeping up with it. I just know that we all busy, and it came out during the week of God of War. Like, bro, I'm not playing it. I'm not playing. I don't have no time for nothing else, and that's you can see that as of now. But I'm just like, I'm not playing this game right now. I'll come back to it in a week or two when I'm done with the games that I'm actually interested in. So, yeah, I'm not saying I'm not interested in it. Because I've been looking at stuff, and I was like, let me check out this trailer. Then I went on. I actually booted up Halo Infinite, and I looked at the Forge modes, and I was like, this is not what I thought Forge mode was. I thought it was like you can go in and find people to play with, but you actually have to have friends to play these modes with. And I was like, oh, so you got to be popular. So then I was like, oh, well, then maybe I can go look for some friend groups or like something that would allow me to try out some of these modes. But then I was like, then I got to talk to people. And I was like, never mind, forget it. And I hopped off. But maybe I just have a misunderstanding of it, but I think that's how Forge mode works, right?
Well, yes and no. That's how it is in the game right now. But there is, like in Halo 5, there was a matchmaking playlist that included all Forge stuff. So, like when last time me and you played Halo 5, those were all Forge maps. Right now, they haven't implemented that because they still call in Forge a beta right now. But I think eventually they'll go through, pick the most popular Forge maps, make sure that they don't like break the game, and then put them in like a matchmaking playlist. But who knows how long that'll take. But yeah, I haven't played Halo Infinite. Like I still follow it, and I still follow people who play it. So I've been seeing all the stuff that's coming out. Mainly is they finally dropped the online co-op campaign, Forge, a couple new like battle pass items, and a couple new maps. It's actually not a lot of stuff if you like were burnt out on Halo Infinite. It's not really a whole lot to like clear that up. But the biggest thing is the Forge stuff is actually really, really good. This seems to be the best, like not the best, but the most
fleshed out.
Yeah, you have the most utility. Like I sent y'all a video like a couple minutes ago. But like it's not just you take a map and then you take the pieces and reorganize them. Like they have like completely different style stuff in the game. Like there's this Toy Story map that somebody made with just completely different assets. Like I don't know how they got the assets, whatever, but like it's like you a little toy inside the kids room and driving around and stuff like that. And I think it's really cool because the really, really creative people will be able to make like really, really fun stuff. And that's just going to take some time. And like once the matchmaking is fully up and running or whatever for Forge, I'll definitely jump in because like I enjoy that. Like I enjoy being competitive in Halo, but I'll say at least 50% of the fun in Halo is just taking that sandbox and those abilities and just going out and doing random stuff and having fun. That way, hopefully you can find endless amounts of fun in it. But of course, yeah, it's better to play it with friends. All that to be said, like, I think it's a good update. The problem with Halo Infinite is that it's a lot of it is too little too late. So this might not, I'll say Forge is not too little. Like this is exactly what people wanted, but it's coming out much later than it should have. And so it's going to take time to build up that momentum to even get like audiences back interested in it. I personally, I feel like I might jump on, play a few games, see how it is, but I want to wait to their next season. That way I can start completely fresh, all the new stuff, and I don't get like burnt out quickly, but we'll see.
Yeah. I think that it's hard for them to recapture that spark that they had at the beginning. Like people were actually playing it, people were having fun, people loved the combat and they wanted to like explore more and they needed more, but they didn't meet the need, and it's understandable at some points, but not in others. Like if you're ever going to make this game, you should probably know that what was needed to kind of capture that moment again and keep it alive. But to build it afterwards and build it and they will come situation is hard in nowadays because it's just so much opportunity and like different games out there. Like build it and they will come is hard. Like,
Yeah.
there's so much praise and nowadays where a game coming out in a solid shipping state where you don't need to do much and there's nothing else that's really broken or truly broken about it. It's a complete package. So much praise is now put on that. Like, it's ridiculous how much people are really praising a complete game when that should be the norm. But this, unfortunately, Halo Infinite, these big releases where they don't charge you $60, they're free to play. They cut corners to try to fit the mode, and I think they cut too much. It unfortunately
Do you
hurt them a
think,
lot. Go ahead.
because people still sharing all the rumors and showing all the evidence and stuff, but do you think the Battle Royale mode, whenever it comes out, will save the game?
It absolutely could, because it's something fresh and people were going to hop in because it's a battle royale, right? All the battle royale crowd you get with that. But you got to battle royale comes with a price. The price of losing your core audience, the price of losing the true thing that made you special and unique. Battle royale is like a cheat, but it's like a double-edged sword. Like Apex Legends now, I don't feel like it has like a super good identity anymore. And I used to love Respawn's identity core. I just feel like it's so much of like this lacking of unique experience now that and I think I've become spoiled with their ability to refine a game to a T. That now I feel like this isn't good enough anymore, and I'm moving on. But it's not at the fault of them not creating a good product. It's at the fault of them not elaborating and expanding on said good product. Like Titanfall 3 and Titanfall 2 and Titanfall 1, these are all standalone experiences that even when I go back, I enjoy them because of their standalone experience. Apex Legends is a live service, so what comes with that is that double-edged sword. Like I said, it kind of causes you to now, it's like you siphoning your experience, your ability to create unique experiences for this big balloon of cash. Like they're siphoning off their creativity for this, and it sucks because it's not as creative. It feels dulled down. It feels lacking in a lot of areas, and it just feels as if we are being spoon fed the creative, right? We're getting spoon fed the creative where it's not big explosion because of this weird battle royale. Pause that, but battle royale experience is just like weird. So whatever. I just know that if they do it, the core experience has to be superb so they don't lose what they are. But then it's not a live service game. It is you needed to make people pay $60 for this because the multiplayer being free, it unfortunately hinders that. So I can absolutely understand why Halo Infinite is not doing the best it could be, and it's like having this really slow process because they are literally fine tuning how to make a battle royale game in real time. They don't even know how to make a live service game like that. They don't do that. So for them to have to cut back all of the core experiences and spoon feed it, it feels as if we are being punished for their now experience with live service or battle royale-esque because they're building something. We know that they can't just be sitting around for this huge IP free online, and for not to recoup any of that, they have to be doing something, and it's probably going to be something special, but it's going to be hard for them to do that and continue on as a unique experience. So yeah. You'll see it in the Overwatch soon enough. You'll be like, well, Y'all been doing the same thing. It's going to be fun for a while, but you can see it in every battle royale game that has ever come out. They start to they start to dull back the creative because they want to use that for like a big season launch, and then the season launches when they don't meet expectations. It feels as if you've had 6 months of lack of creativity and then you just had to move on to something else. So that is going to be the experience for a lot of people when it comes to that battle royale. But hopefully we're at the cusp end of this normality of the battle royale experience. I think there's time for a change. There's time for an adjustment, and I hope with dwindling numbers, but obviously people are spending more time on games, so they're going to keep seeing profit. But maybe once that is no longer there and the player base is dwindling, that we start to see some changes in how we do and how they do battle royales. So yes, it'll save it, but at the same time, it's going to hurt it. As I say all that to say that.
Yeah, which I think if they have all the stuff that people want who don't like battle, because the problem with a lot of battle royale games is that they only have battle royale and they have nothing else.
Yeah.
So at least if Halo can keep the old stuff but have the battle royale over here, obviously battle royale is going to be the more popular mode, but hopefully it can make everybody happy if they can pull that off. But that's going to take a long time, and that's the problem.
I think Call of Duty trying to do it the best. Well, they're not doing it the best, but they're doing it in a way where people hate the Call of Duty now. But the other people that really enjoy Call of Duty, like the original multiplayer, they love it. And then there's people that hate it. But you have to pay for the part that you hate, and you don't have to pay for the part that they quote unquote love. I hate the Battle Royale in Call of Duty, but it's free. And the one that I actually enjoy to play is not. So they have to turn a profit. You know, they have to in order for these to make these big, large games again. And they give you a multitude of different things. They got the campaign going. It's strong right now. They got the multiplayer going. It's strong right now. I doubt they have a zombie mode, but they got the Spec Ops, and that's people are having fun in there. And then on top of that, on the side, we have Warzone 2.0. So they are recreating what a battle royale package should look like, but at the same time they're not, because it's free. They're like giving you the best of both worlds. I don't know how great that is, but you know, they still, you know, made $2 billion in a couple of days. Like they made a bill in a quick time. I think it's like 10 days, less than 10 days or something like that. It works for them. It's Call of Duty though. Halo Infinite could be that, but they probably should have kept it $70. I think they when they did that shell of a free to play game, it really hurt it, because Halo Infinite story was not worth $60. So it's just hard, you know. It's hard, but I think they made a decision and they have to live with it. But we'll see what it comes out to. Halo Forge though, it's promising. I really like this one mode. I think it was called like Giblet, whatever, where they like literally, I think it was like they were coming in and out of like what's that game called where you whack-a-mole? Basically you in a hole with a sniper and other people are got to stand up to try to to try to snipe you, but y'all all trying to do the snipe up and down and try to shoot each other when y'all pop out the hole, right? So it looked fun to play because it's just like wacky modes like that. Like the creativity of the community will probably definitely help when it comes to keeping that game popular and fun to actually play. So yeah, I like the idea of Forge for sure a lot more than anything. All right. I don't have a segue this time. I was bodying him at first, but I don't really have a segue. But I wanted to talk about the Steam Deck. Steam Deck thoughts, anything that you I know Jalen, you said you've been working on yours, and I know you've been getting, it prepared. I know you had some troubles with some of the I think you said you were trying to do something.
No,
Well, go ahead.
yeah, I mean, it was just trying to get like familiar with it. I mean, it is like a little like tablet S type thing or whatever, but at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, it's a whole computer. So, and then it's like switching between modes, and it's not using like a familiar operating system, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
because I never used Linux before in transparency, but it was just a little weird, like little quirk thingies, like I'm on like Firefox or whatever, and I'm trying to get up the keyboard. I'm like, how do I pull the keyboard up? Because I'm clicking on this thing, it's definitely not coming up, and just getting familiar, like trying to switch it from desktop mode, switch it back to like the Steam mode. I'm getting
Mm-hmm.
like MU deck and all that type of stuff, trying to get all that like set up. I'm running into issues, and I tried to do like a custom directory or whatever. So I kind of use like the little default one or whatever. On top of that, I ain't got an SD card, so it's just kind of it ain't nothing impossible, and I think it's a great device by all means and stuff like that. But I think there is a little bit of I ain't gonna say a huge learning curve if you like you savvy with like PCs and stuff like that. It's just kind of getting familiar with how the Steam Deck works, how this tablet little gaming device thing it does have a little desktop mode, and when you put all that type of stuff on there. Earlier, me and Josh was talking about like something called MU Deck. At first, I was being honest. I was thinking I had to plug it into something and kind of do a little like finagling and put like certain files on there that's going to enable it to do certain things. But I mean, it's a computer, so you can just take files as they are. From what I'm knowing, at least so far, like you can just take files as they are and do whatever and have them like executable and stuff like that. But going back to like the MU deck thing, it's like, all right, I'm on here, so how I'm supposed to use this or use this emulator or how I'm
Mm-hmm.
supposed to get this game to work on here. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of stuff like that. And it was just like weird things like, all right, I'm on a desktop mode and one of the emulators within EmuDeck is running and it's running on a desktop, like similar like how you'd be on a computer. You can kind of click the window, like how you generally click windows with the ones that you want active. So that's like kind of getting all your little like commands and stuff you put in that. I was trying to do that on my Steam Deck and it wasn't working it wasn't working like the way I wanted it to work, and it was just weird. Like I couldn't like pull up certain menus and things like that. And then when I had went back in and opened it up a different way, I don't even know how I opened it up. It like actually put it into like the full screen mode. But now I'm in the full screen mode, trying to figure out how to get out of the full screen mode and just pressing all the buttons on my Steam Deck. And I'm like, bro, how do I get out of this? And this might be specific to like RetroArch or whatever, which is the GBA emulator I was using, but so I'm doing that and clicking all type of stuff. I finally get it to pull up by hitting both analog sticks at the same time, which is kind of weird, I guess. But that and then trying to map out controls and all that type of stuff. Because I ain't gonna lie, like when you playing Pokemon games, like after a certain point, man, you get a certain age, you like, man, I need that fast forward, but like I need that mode right now. And you're like, what are you saying? Like, so still trying to mess with it a little bit, trying to figure it out. But again, I mean, I don't really have any buyer's remorse or anything like that with it. I mean, it is a little costly price or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I could get rid of my Steam Deck and get Sonic Frontiers Game of the Year edition. You feel me? But I can't. It's been like 60 days in my Steam Deck, so I'm like, I guess I got to keep it and hold off on like Sonic Frontiers and stuff like that. So,
I think,
I'm just trying to be like financially sound, but yeah, I think
yeah,
it's a good purchase and stuff like that. And I'm excited to see what I can do with it, like in the future. So. Um,
I
yeah,
think
I
you
just got to
will.
be a little bit of patient. So.
Yeah, I think you'll really enjoy it once you get it all set up. But it's definitely a small learning curve. I just wanted to hear your experience pulling out the box because we ain't talked about how to set that up. You just kind of, been on it on your own. So what I'm understanding from what you were just saying is that it's pretty intuitive in a way where you can get around the stuff. You kind of understand where you need to go, but sometimes it is a little bit like you got to get some think cards out there. Sometimes, like even trying to find the shortcuts on what to do next, how to pull it up the keyboard, stuff like that is a little bit daunting if you don't really know where to look. But I know the shortcut for that is Steam X. Yeah, you hold down the Steam button and hit X. I think that pulls up all of your keyboard, and then if you just hold down Steam, I think that pull up all the shortcuts on the device.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think it did that one when I was on like RetroArch because I was like, maybe this button that say Steam on it probably got a lot of
Yeah,
power or something like that. And I did that, it didn't
sometimes
come up.
in
Like,
desktop mode, depending on the application, it'll like overwrite those Steam controls. So, like I was saying to you, like I don't personally play any games in desktop mode because it treats it very differently. Like it treats it
yeah,
like a computer, and it kind of sometimes expects you to like just plug in or connect a Bluetooth keyboard and use it like that because
yeah.
it's going to treat the Steam Deck as a controller, and it's not always going to work how you want. But yeah, the desktop mode in Linux is a lot to learn, but it's actually was pretty quick to pick up on. And the best thing that me and Deontay has said before is that with like the Linux community or just the Steam community combined with this, it's a lot easier to like learn how to do this stuff because people put together really good guides or really good like 5-minute videos on how to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually pretty easy to learn once you actually get into it. And you have all the customization options that you want. So it's pretty much no reason where you can't get the game to play how you want unless it's just the game doesn't load. And even then, usually people have like 10 different workarounds how to get your game to actually work if it keep crashing or something like that.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
What's really
I
cool
think
about it is like when I talked about it previously is that the Steam Deck is a universal same specs device. If it works for one person, it should work for you. So if it's like that is my comfort because I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but somebody out there that owns one is, and if I feel that level of understanding where I don't have to worry about, oh, my CPU's different, my GPU's different, I can't get the same experience. Nope, I can because I literally have the same device. So that is the comfort I get when it comes to the Steam Deck. Even though there's a learning curve, it's important to learn some of it because it once you do, it's not like you have to relearn like a different device later on down the line. If this is your only device you ever buy from the Steam Deck, and using Steam OS, then you will probably know how Steam OS works from the future on. And if you buy a new Steam Deck, they're going to be very similar, but probably better, more powerful. And that is the joy of PCs because they're pretty much the same operating system. It's not like it's something that's going to change often or dramatically to the point where it breaks everything. So yeah, I think
yeah, no, I
putting that
mean,
time in.
oh my bad.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, definitely the time. And then I was, like I said, I was trying to work around without having like I was just like kind of finagling some stuff because I was like, I probably really want an SD card just so like if there's like any sort of like updates or anything that goes on, I always got some type of external source that's not really getting affected versus if I
Mm-hmm.
got things like stored on here internally, especially like if it's, like third party, stuff like that that might not really like coincide with the operating system or whatever. Um, so that would, I mean, I'm trying to think. I was going to say something else, but I can't remember. But ultimately, I think I need to be patient. I mean, Deontay, he had sent me a video on how to like set up my Steam Deck and like different things I should have on there. Plot twist, his face popped up on a thing, and I'm just like, bro, why would I want to watch this video, man? Don't I get enough of you already? Not just playing. No, that's my boy. So I definitely love and support the video and stuff like that. So, and I think he had like a pretty good like video that kind of like walked me through everything or whatever. So it's just me having the time and patience to actually go through and set things up and figure out what I really want on it because I ain't gonna lie, I only got 64 gigs on that boy, so I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna put on here, dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I ain't really got like a external. I got an external hard drive. I'm lying. I just don't really like use it like that per se. So I might have to start opting to that and just like I said, just being a little patient. There's a lot of games and stuff I want to play too, but so I'm trying to make sure I don't get back into that emulator phase. I'm just playing like old Pokemon games and stuff like that and
Mm-hmm.
actually doing something different. So that's kind of another reservation I had with it because I want to try to make sure I'm expanding myself when I'm playing these games instead of just like wasting time just I'm gonna play this Pokemon game now, like, and they just the old ones and stuff like that. So, but But
Yeah.
that's pretty much it, though. So
Yeah. I think you'll have fun. But all right, let's move on to our last topic for today, and it's about some black haircuts. The importance of black haircuts in video games. We
bro,
got some
haircuts is like excellent, bro.
crispy fades coming in Hogwarts Legacy. That tell them about the Hogwarts Legacy fades, Jalen, because that's what popped out to you, right?
Nah, I ain't even gonna care, bro. I'm at the hoop court, right? We busting their head. We like 5-6-0 on the court. I'm like, hey, this is a good day, bro. Like we really putting up numbers, like hooping at the recreation center. Then I get on my phone, the RDC World pop. I'm like, hey man, hold up, bro. Hold on, like pause, dog. I had to show a little size, like, bro, you see these dudes' haircuts, man? I'm like, I get this game strictly off the haircut alone, because you know they be doing black people bold in these games. They be having the non-traditional black people, like American black person.
Yeah.
They haircuts, they be having like specs, and like, you know, black people get fades and stuff like that, tapers, all that, but they be having like on the games, they be having like these little specs and stuff like that, hairline all warped and stuff like that, and don't look like they care about their hair and stuff like that, and the skin tone be like bronze or all extra dark, or have like some burgundy color. So you know what I'm saying? They just don't be doing us right. Like the lips be too big. But on this, they was in their bag. Like that's the best way I can put it, bro. Like I was like, I copped this game strictly just because they was in a bag with black people. Like they got the lips right, the eyes don't look like they, you know, blackface or nothing. I'm like, they look like they got the answer, cornrows crispy, like they just got done getting their hair braided, hairline, like they just got, like they put the enhancer on their head, that little black spray that black people be putting on their hair to make their hair look forward and all that type of stuff, like Jalen Rose, like they got all that. I'm like, bro, it's crispy. You can see the texture in the hair and stuff like that. You know, I don't know if they got that 4C or whatever they got going on, but you know, it's all that in there. And I'm like, y'all really was actually caring about black people. I'm like, I get this game based off that one. I ain't even look up gameplay. Just know they gonna get their 60 or 70 from me just because of the haircut, bro. Nah, just fine. I ain't gonna say they gonna get all that, but I thought that was like amazing. I ain't see Cyberpunk and all that type of stuff you can do on there, like the customization, but and I know Pokemon even tried to put some dreads in there. I'm like, man, nobody wants them little chicken nuggets in their head, bro. Like for the texture and all that other type of stuff, that because you know Pokemon ain't got the graphics and stuff like that. But Hogwarts,
Cyberpunk made a good face. They didn't make good hair. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't like none of the hair options. I played as a female and a male, and I was like, bro, I rocked the buzz cut for the male, and I rocked I was trying to rock the fro, but I was like, bro, this thing ugly. I was like, why do they fro like that? But yeah, it was trash. So I ended up having to wear like a fade cut back ponytail type of hairstyle, and I was like, yeah, this is not what I wanted to go for. I don't do black people hair like that, B.
Be doing them both. Like I will say Final Fantasy 13, even though Afro and stuff, I wasn't really cool with that, and Styles wasn't the most interesting character. His texture and stuff in his hair was like, it was pretty good. Like I appreciate what they did with it. And that was an old game, so I don't know what was going on with these newer games and black people haircuts, and they don't even have just something simple like a fade or like a taper. They just had these little fake dread type or long hair. So when you playing Elden Ring, well, Elden Ring was a little better, but we was playing Dark Souls. They haircuts was just like, yo, dude, hair be long, like he had like a perm and stuff, like he the new Rick James, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, like, just put a black person haircut in here, bro. Like, his hairline ain't even got to be straight. So, like I said, when they did something with their hair with Hogwarts, I thought that was cold, bro. Like that's black excellence. Like
that bug went from man, I ain't think about Hogwarts to I'm like, this face out there.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you, bro. They looked like them was like, I'm like, man, I've seen this dude in real life before. I was hooping with him last week, as a matter of fact. Like that's how the black people was. Like, yeah, I was just hooping with Buddy Work. It's a dude that looked just like him, bro. So
yeah, they did a good job. I'm looking at it now, and I was like, yeah, they actually did a decent job. The nose, the eyebrows, like, he got definition. The lips, like, yeah, Buddy actually look like he's black.
Yeah. He don't got no weird skin tone. Like it ain't bronze or burgundy. Like he just actually look like like I'm brown skinned, bro. Like, what's up? Like, I'm like, man, what's up? Like,
let's clap it up for Hogwarts Legacy
yeah, man. I'm
for
like,
getting it right.
yeah.
I don't think that was the first one, but it's very few in between, bro. Like when it comes to black haircuts and like I don't even think I mean, San Andreas tried their best with the polygons. Obviously, they had polygons at the time. They wasn't really dealing with no definition. They had a fro, and I rocked the fro, and then they had the little cornrows. But
that was always the safest bet. Like,
yeah, the fro was the safest bet.
Cornrows.
Yeah, the cornrows was.
You ain't never want to get the all evens. The all evens was like that's even a horrible haircut in general, bro. Like,
dude, and then they had the haircuts. They had that boy hairline jacked up. Like that is a true mod in GTA haircuts. GTA 5, they really put a mod in there for haircuts. Like, what's his name? I forget his name now. The original Franklin. Guy, Franklin. He had like a decent fade, right? But it wasn't like the greatest fade either. But he had a decent one. But yeah, I think some games in their time, they were like at least showcasing decent black haircuts, but these games that are like more fantasy based, more, RPGs, they give you a Goku haircut and they say, go at it. That's it. You get a buzz. That's it. But it's nice to see Hogwarts Legacy is actually trying to give us some representation with the haircuts at least. Like Miles Morales. When Miles Morales came out, everybody was like, bro, when Spider-Man came out, the first trailer, everybody was like, bro, I don't care what that man doing. That hairline crispy. And that was all they mad about. That was like the upgrade, bro. The upgrade from Spider-Man 1 to Miles Morales was the haircut and the textures, bro. That's how important it is.
In the black community, bro, like I don't think people realize like the importance of a haircut, bro. Like all the pandemic memes that was coming out about people like not seeing a barber and I ain't going outside. Like, bro, I'm like the way I can put in perspective, man. Think about a lowly saying like a third class saying, but you get a haircut, you go automatically not Super Saiyan 1, but Super Saiyan 2. Like you feel like you could take over the world. Like, bro, I got a haircut. I'm finna just spin the block just so y'all can see my haircut. Like. That's why girls be like, man, no, you just got your haircut. You acting different. Yeah, I'm acting different. I'm at like maximum overdrive right now just because I got a haircut. Like
just because you got the haircut.
Literally, bro.
That's a confidence boost like no other.
And I'm trying to tell you, bro, you got your haircut. You be like, okay, yeah, you be. And then when your hairline get messed up though, like you be like, let me hide for 2 weeks.
You inside for 2 weeks.
Y'all don't need me, do y'all?
You inside,
my boy. I'm dying out here.
Hey, nah,
like, can you come pick me up? I need to go to the hospital. Man, my haircut messed up, man. You might have to just call 911. Call 911, bro. I can't go out there looking like this.
Yeah, I'm not even a hat guy. I hate hats.
I'm trying to, bro. I will not wear a hat because I know it's gonna mess my hair up, bro. I be wanting to wear hats, but I'm like, I can't even wear it, bro. Let's go. Mess my hair.
Keep it on all day. I'm like, I don't want to keep a hat on all day. Somebody need to invent a hat that don't mess up your hair. Something, bro.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you, as soon as you put that hat on, your haircut cooked, bro. You're gonna have to go find another mirror, get whatever hair products you need and stuff, get your hair tightened up and don't put that hat back on. Like that hat is a commitment, bro. It's a 24-hour commitment.
Same thing go with these headphones. Hoods. These headphones that be popping over your head and you smash your head down. I'm like, bro, come on, G. And then don't even get me started, bro. Every time I put this headset down, if I put it on some paper, I remember I was trying to, I don't know what I was doing. I put it down on my paper. That mug, the amount of grease and oils that fell off onto that paper was atrocious. I had to drop like 6 pages. I was like, bro, this thing seeped through like that. And that was just from the headset. That wasn't even the head, bro. That was the headset. So it's just it's a whole thing when it comes to black hair.
Remember when I told y'all about like, man, I don't want to wear my headset, man. Just go to Discord, bro. That's the reason why, because of the haircut. I'm not gonna smash my hair in to talk to y'all in the game, bro. We got other options, bro. This is 2020, 21, 22, 23. Like, we got other options, bro. And I'm not smashing right here to talk to y'all, bro. Because now
Bro,
I
why
gotta
you ain't
go
just
through
buy
the
no
whole process.
AirPods? Why you ain't buy no
No,
AirPods?
I did, but like they wasn't. I'm trying to think. I didn't want to keep trying to figure out how to sync them to my like play stuff. I don't even know if you
Oh,
could do that for real, bro. I was just like,
yeah.
man, I guess I'll go ahead and plug my headset up again so we can have game terror. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever we trying to do. I'm like, man, I guess, bro. Like
Yeah.
every time I get done playing that game, bro, throw that headset down and go look right in the mirror. All right, what I gotta fix, bro? What I gotta fix? Just because I want to play this game.
That's hilarious. But yeah, it's important. It's super important. So I'm glad Hogwarts, took the first step. I still want to play the game entirely in its entirety, but I think it's cool that they have, that much customization on the character creation and combat. So I think I'm definitely gonna have fun. They put a lot of care into the game and a lot of money, so hopefully it does well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't want to keep us too long. Anything else y'all want to get off y'all chest before we head up out of here? God of War is Game of the Year already confirmed.
Y'all know Bangalore got the best black haircut.
Oh my
Heck,
goodness. Yeah, heck you
yeah,
know.
stay right where she at, bro.
She stay right where she at. They tried with they covered his head up. You can't even see it. Newcastle.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's because they knew his hairline was pushed back.
At least they got the facial I feel like their facial expressions and her her makeup, not her makeup, but like makeup of her face is spot on for like a black. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's it's overproduced. It feels natural in that way, but her hair, yeah, is really atrocious. Her subtleties and her movement and like her actual cheekbones and her eyesight, it actually presents a character that is black, but at the same time, she doesn't really do or even discuss anything that Newcastle is more of the black character to me than Bangalore ever was. Bangalore is hardened because of military, but Newcastle actually has expressions and actually sayings that are more rooted in the black community than anything that Bangalore has ever said. So, yeah.
Yeah, Bangalore do look good, like as a black person. Now that you mention it, but she don't. She just say militant stuff. I'm like, and it's cringy.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, sit your militant, cringy self down, bro. Like you is not a representation of the black community, all right? I ain't gonna say that.
Yeah, because it's more of a
majority.
Her character. I think she just happens to be black. Her character is a militant woman, right? Newcastle's character is a black man. If that's what it seems like, it's actually a characterization of what a black man would be in that world. Hers is just a militant woman, but she just happened to be black. That's it. Like she doesn't have any characteristics that showcases that she's black. If you didn't hear her, if you didn't see and hear her at the same time, sometimes you just think she was just some militant woman, but she does sound black, at least. Like she has a character voice that sounds black, but it's just not as in the mannerisms, the conversation pieces. Like when she talks, it's not like okay, I understand where they're trying to slip in lingo or they're trying to slip in like some education around what the black community says and does. But at least with Newcastle, you can see the representation and hear it. So it's a difference. It's like a fine line. I wouldn't even know how to start, to be honest with you, like showcasing a black character and not making them feel like overproduced. It's hard because our essence is like a lot of different things at the same time. It's like our core experiences are so different at sometimes that even if we find it to be like a commonality between us all, it's how you portray that commonality and subtleties in it. So it's like, it's all in the subtleties, like for real. I think white people can get away with anything because they always had trope characters and things like that. But when you try to do a subtlety character like a black person, it's harder. So I don't know.
And then we'd be hard critics anyway. Like we all.
Oh yeah,
always,
for sure. But yeah,
I
know it's possible.
Like it's just we got hard critics.
Yeah, I know it's possible to have a great black character.
I mean, a lot of it also comes down to is who's making the actual character, because like you'll see them all the time in fantasy games, like Forspoken, and I hope that the characterization of the black characters in there are good, but it's not made. You know, maybe there are black people on the team. I don't know, but this seems like a project, you know, from non-black people, from Square Enix, and from their people that they work with in like Europe and their other studios and stuff like that. So a lot of times it's their interpretation of what they want the black character to be.
Yeah.
Instead of on the flip side, which we didn't even talk about it, but it was good, which is like Black Panther, which majority of the people in the creative decisions are black people, like black director and cast and stuff like that. And so it feels more natural when they show all different black characteristics and stuff like that, because it's not like a interpretation of what a black person is to somebody who's met like two black people in their life, you know.
Yeah, it's an actual black person. Yeah. I forgot all about Black Panther, for honest, and we still got time. Let's talk about it. So Black Panther, and I don't know how I missed it, but Wakanda Forever, me and my wife went to go see it. I know Josh went to go see it. I don't think Jalen went to go see it at all. Jalen, you didn't see Black Panther, right? JBZ. I'm gonna take that as a no. He probably having some technical difficulties. But yeah, the Black Panther, I saw it. And I know I seen something. I think I don't know if you tweeted something or something like that. But you was like, you gave us a high praise. I say that you gave it high praise. Karina gave it high praise. I gave it, and I'm not saying it wasn't a good movie. I just thought some of the stuff that was happening was a little questionable. I just liked the presence of those like black people on the screen, right? And I liked the feel that it gave me when they were taking on their problems and they were just having it all internal. It wasn't like anybody outside of the Wakanda was really dealing with any of it. I like the portrayal of a powerful nation, right? And the powerful nation that it was. I just don't find Namor and his people to be as a huge threat as everyone else was portraying them to be. I'm not saying that they just fishmen, because they are strong, right? I'm just saying that there's a multitude of things that they literally are like, they're back in the Mayan era. They don't use technology in that sense, and they don't create things in that sense. I know they have they didn't portray it on screen, at least. Like a lot of the back history of that community was like rushed, and it felt like I couldn't really understand how they are so powerful. They have vibranium, but at the end of it, at the core of it, they can't live on the land. They have to live in the sea. Maybe they can pull the world into the ocean, but I'm like, that's not possible. So I just felt like their threat was their threat because Wakanda was keeping it a secret. I felt like overall in the universe, obviously, when most of these big bads come to town, for Wakanda to be the biggest and like the strongest nation, I didn't find them to be living up to the expectation of like fighting the strongest nation. That was all. And I felt like they wrote it in to make them seem powerful, and I didn't feel like they were just genuinely powerful. But Karina fought me hard on that. So I want to hear your opinion on that.
I'll be honest, like me, for Marvel movies in general, I'm not usually as hard on them as most people. Like it doesn't have the plot doesn't have to make complete sense. I'm not okay with
Mm-hmm.
plot holes and stuff like that. I just want to see the next chapter in this long Marvel manga and see what the characters do
Mm-hmm.
and think about what's going to happen next. So that's always my stance. And the second thing is I even said this when I saw the first trailer. It's like I want to go in and enjoy this movie, see what these people worked hard to put together.
Mm-hmm.
With all the passing to Chadwick and stuff like that. But from the beginning, I wasn't ever going to be like judging it that hard because like I don't know how you would actually make it better in this situation.
Yeah.
That being said, I still enjoyed it a lot. Like I rewatched me and my wife rewatched the first Black Panther before we went to go see this, and I enjoyed this one a lot. I'm not gonna say that it's like a better movie, but I feel like I had a lot more moments in it that I enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
Just from all the Wakanda characters, like all of them did I
Mm-hmm.
think amazing. I liked seeing more of them. As always. And then when it comes to the Atlantean stuff, I enjoyed it. I've never been a fan of Namor in the comics, but the actor I think did a good job of at least making him more interesting than like what he usually is to me.
Gotcha.
And I think that his character, because like all the other like underwater people, like they're like normal people, but he's special because like he's actually a mutant and
That can
not just like
fly. Yeah.
yeah. And so
And
I thought even though I will say like he didn't have somebody's so I'm not gonna spoil it, but um he didn't have anybody on his level that I thought. I thought that like if he was fighting Thor, for example, like that fight could be like very like do all bunch of stuff like underwater and a bunch of different
mm-hmm.
cities and you blowing stuff up. He didn't have anybody on his level. Um which hopefully if you see him again in the future, maybe they can like push his story, push his powers, see more of him.
Mm-hmm.
But for seeing him in this movie, I thought he was really good, and he was he was a problem. The
Mm-hmm.
rest of them, I think, is just numbers. Like they never actually say how many of them there are, but imagine there might be millions of them underwater.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that I got the idea that they were going for that, they can sneak up on you and they got magic where they can sing and like hypnotize
Mm-hmm.
people and stuff like that. So I think for a surprise attack situation, this was definitely I felt the tension. But like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know if they would actually win like a long
No.
battle with like Wakanda and stuff like that.
Bro, they all
But
they had was water balloons. I was like, come on, man. Stop with the water balloons. I say, come on, something else. And then I kept saying that and I was like, please do something else. Please do something else. But I was
what I
judging
will
it.
say,
I ain't gonna
yeah,
hold you.
I will say that there's supposed to be other people like not as strong as anymore, but really
Mm-hmm.
strong people underwear, like the guy with the crown and the other girl with like the flower
Oh
helmet and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They did a couple things in there, but they didn't like fully do a lot.
Right.
But they're supposed to be like really, really strong characters as well. But anyways, all that to be said, I I enjoyed
Mm-hmm.
seeing those two groups and their interactions where they like talking or fighting. So I enjoyed it, and plus the like I said, also when I tweeted it, like the music, of course, is really
Mm-hmm.
good.
Yes.
It's different than the first one, which was like Kendrick and hip hop and more like representing
Mm-hmm.
what's his name Killmonger.
Yeah.
But this one is more, more quiet, more like, because it's about loss and stuff like that. So, but it was really good.
Absolutely. I felt like they portrayed it the best way they possibly could. I think the funeral was great and it was impactful for the Marvel symbol to come up and it was just being Chadwick and it was like a moment of silence. I think that a lot of the stuff that they did to create and make it a good movie was a good movie. Like if you took away the whole Marvel stuff, you wouldn't even really have much of a difference. It's like Lost. It's about loss. It's about overcoming loss. It's about dealing with that and just having a hard time moving past it. And it was just a lot of that, and a lot of emotions and a lot of like hard situations to kind of overcome. I think Namor just amplified their um their it just amplified the lack of protection that was felt at the passing of the Black Panther.
Yeah.
And not and that's where I kept kind of coming back to, okay, I don't feel like he was powerful enough to be dealing with this type of community of people. And but at the same time, Namor was that he was a hitter. He was taking down stuff really, really quickly. He was like doing a lot of things that he himself would be doing. Like himself was strong. Everything else, like they had to really do some stuff to really, overcome that situation. But his team, nah, Gene. I just couldn't get with them. But I understand the world. The world is like 70% water. They can be anywhere at any time, and they're fast. And I understand that is like that was the overarching presence of they really can get you at any point in time if they really truly wanted to. Obviously, they have to be close to water, and then that whole battle scene, and things like that. The plan, and that's why that's where I went into my bag of. They wrote this script around playing to their strengths, because I'm like, why would you do that? It doesn't make sense. But at the same time, how would they even impact on land? So I just knew it was like understandable. I enjoyed it still. I was giving it an 8 out of 10. I felt like everybody's presentation and everybody's acting was great. I really liked Angela Bassett. She was really good, and I liked I forget his name now. The guy that was like the comedy relief. I forget his name. The general.
Winston Duke, the black dude.
Yeah, the black dude that was a. Dang, I can't remember his name. But
the gorilla guy.
The gorilla guy. So but he was really good too. A lot of moment to moment scenes that were impactful. And it was just a lot of reflection. Reflection on how we do cope and how we move on from things. So it was just a lot of that, and I liked it a lot. And I felt like it was action packed enough where I was on the edge of my seat. So I was like, what's going to happen next? Okay, what's going to happen now? And they did a lot of.
I will say, like, I agree with all that. For me, like, maybe it's overrated or whatever, but like, I was rating it based on like how many scenes I felt like were just like really, really memorable that I'm always gonna like want to go back to and see. It's like, I think it had a lot of them with like, cameos from old characters and cameos from new characters. And like overall with like how they handle the leadership with like him passing and like other people stepping in, and like I was like weary about it at first, like I don't know, and how is it going to compare and stuff like that. And I think they did a good job of separating themselves from Chadwick. Like, we're not just going to copy what he did. This is going to be different, but it's still understandable and like emotional and stuff like that as well. So
absolutely. I think overall they did a good job, and I think that this I wouldn't and that's the thing, because even if I'm criticizing, but I wouldn't change it because of what it brought to the table. I wouldn't change what they did at the end. I wouldn't change anything, but I wanted to just be aware of where they kind of not derailed but steered the direction of the movie, and that's fine, because that's what you're supposed to do. But I knew that it would be too many questions if they were to fight on land. It was just too many questions that would be unanswered. Like, why would they do it that way when they could just do it? But taking the final battle to their homeland or where they're comfortable is most important and interesting. So, and ability to kind of keep all loose ends tied in that sense. But yeah, Black Panther was good. If you do see it, I think it was great. I think I've seen the first one like 5 times in the theater. I'm probably gonna see this twice. But I still really much enjoyed it, and a lot of the noise online, people just let it know it's noise. Sometimes people are just they are very against change. Sometimes they lack understanding and the concepts, and sometimes it's just hard for people to adjust. So I don't
Yeah,
think
I
they didn't honor anyone. I think they honored someone. They honored and they passed the torch elegantly, and they showcase what they're planning on doing in the future. That's what more can you ask for? So I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, I will say like a lot of people just, of course, always they throwing a lot of shade at this movie for no reason, especially it's a black
Hmm.
movie. But we're like, I say like Shuri, like
Yeah.
a lot of people were complaining about her before the movie because she don't believe vaccines and stuff like that. I think that, of course, even with like Kyrie and all that stuff, like people have their own personal beliefs, but you can also still enjoy their acting and stuff for what it is and not necessarily have any of the other stuff bother you.
Yeah, animosity towards the outside stuff that's coming into the movie is ridiculous, especially when it's a movie. But I understand that we are no longer in a space where the creative can be distinguished from the person that it is. So the actor cannot be distinguished from the person that they are. They are now one in one. So whatever they do in real life impacts how they are looked at in the movie, which sucks, but that is the truth. So I get it. I understand it, but that is not what this movie is about, nor how it impacts it, and it shouldn't even impact because overall, Shuri did a really good job. Like she did a good job in her role, regardless of if they had to reshoot or reschedule things around her. She did a good job. So I mean that. At least the end result is worth it at that point because all of the rest of that stuff is noise. The movie is out. You can watch it. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I have, and we kind of going over, so I'm going to cut it short here. I want to thank you guys for listening. If you enjoy the content, please don't forget to share it, like it. You can always check it out on wherever you do podcasts, and some of the clips will be up on the BCD Universe channel. But overall, it's been a good week. Thank you guys for listening, and we will talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.